Please listen to me. If you want to start a new C++ program, this is the way to create a new C++ program. Please all of you concentrate here. Select file option in the menu bar and select new menu item from file menu. Into file menu lo menu item new. Okay, then you will get a new file like this. So after preparation of the code, you have to save file like this. Select save as option from file menu. Here you have to provide your file name along with the .cpp extension. Don't forget this. You have to save all C++ files with the .cpp extension. It is mandatory. Please all of you remember this. Okay. So here my program name is what is the program? Yesterday I given problem statement to you. Write a program to implement ARC operations, I think. Am I right? Okay. All of you mute yourself. If you create a disturbance like this, you can't understand what I'm telling. Okay, and it is not possible to repeat the same thing again and again always. Right. So please copy the file with the .cpp extension. Yes, you can keep your file name here on the top. Please see here. Here, the file name, whatever the name, you will say .cpp extension. It is mandatory. Okay. Suppose if you save file with ordinary name without any extension, it will take that file as text file. So text file you can't compile and you can't execute. So that is why C++ program should always save with the .cpp extension. All of you please open your running notes and make a note there. Note and pet note cheyandi. All C++ programs should save with the .cpp extension. Is it clear? Okay, fine. Like C program, here preprocessor directives. So like C, here also there is a preprocessor directive command.
We can't hear
Command
you
is
clearly.
hash and
Voice is
include.
Sir, your voice is breaking, so we can't hear
Same
you.
angular bracket
fully break out.
and in
ఏం మాట్లాడుతున్నారో అర్థం కావట్లేదు. బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది.
okay. Now, hello.
Sir, bomb sir.
Am I audible? Okay, fine. Because of some poor internet connection, this kind of problems may be right.
Poor bandwidth.
Just a minute. I will connect through some other network.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, see this bad network quality. Now tell me, am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Perfect.
Okay, fine. Fine. Yes, like C program, here also always the first command is preprocessor directive command. So that is hash include command. And here in between this angular brackets,
Can you tell me
in
from
between
first onwards?
header file, we have to specify the required header file to deal with input and output activities which are required actually for our program. So here in C++, please remember this, in the case of C programming language, to deal with standard input and output devices, we will use header file as, which header file? stdio.h. Yes, very good. Here in the case of C++, to deal with standard input and output devices, or if you want to deal with console, yes, we have a header file called IO stream. Okay, IO stream.h. Okay, this is the required header file to deal with the console input and output devices like keyboard and a display screen. Understand? Please remember this. So next, next thing is I want to include main function. Okay, this is the basic structure of C++ program. Okay, so afterwards, first, if you want to deal with the required functions directly, then directly we will go for classes implementation in the C++ program. ఓకే, మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా సరే ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ ఎప్పుడు కూడా బేసిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్ డిఫైన్ చేయాలి, అంతేగాని వైడ్ మెయిన్ అని రాసి ఫంక్షనాలిటీ అంతా రాసి ఓకే చివరిలో క్లోజ్డ్ కర్లీ బ్రేస్ అట్లా ప్లేస్ చేయకూడదు. అంటే యూ షుడ్ నాట్ డూ లైక్ దిస్. ఓకే, yes, some people will practice the programs like this, but this is bad practice. Okay, always the first thing is define the basic structure perfectly. Okay, this is the basic structure. First we have to declare the basic program structure clearly and the main function is required. So next thing I want to include the class. So here the class implementation is always starts with a keyword class. You please remember that all these are lowercase letters. Okay, don't use uppercase letters. C++ is case sensitive language, so use lowercase letters. So class followed by the name of the class is specified here. Okay, arithmetic. Okay, open. Tell me now, what is the structure of class? Hello, respond someone.
Internet.
Yes, what is the structure of basic structure of a class in C++? Class followed by class name followed by open curly brace followed by curly brace followed by semicolon. Understand? And you please remember that every small change should be saved properly in the file. So now it is considered as the basic structure of C++ program with the classes. Okay, if you want to use class in your C++ program, this is the basic structure. Please all of you listen carefully and try to remember all these points. Okay, it is not possible to explain the same thing every day. So that all of you please listen carefully. Okay, fine. So next thing, I clearly told that this class is divided into how many parts? Tell me, respond someone.
2.
Yes, 2 parts. This class is divided into 2 parts. Tell me, what occupies this first part? First part for data members. Data members are variables. All class level variable declaration should be there in the first part. Okay. Second part for member functions or methods or functions. Understand, whatever the operations you want to do in this class, you have to define all those operations here in the second part. Is it clear? ఏం అర్థమవుతుందా?
Yes, sir.
Right. Here I want to do some arithmetic operations like, yes, what we listed out yesterday, arithmetic operations. Addition, subtraction and multiplication and division. Yes, we consider these 4 operations as arithmetic operations. You please remember that. Here my intention is, I want to show you why this class name I specified as remember that.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, sir. It's okay now.
Okay.
Class
So,
చెప్తున్నప్పుడు బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది సార్.
అదేలేమ్మా, మరి మనం ఏం చేయగలం, నెట్వర్క్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఓకే ఫైన్, ఐ విల్ ట్రై మై లెవెల్ బెస్ట్. ఓకే, if you have any difficulty, let me know immediately. Otherwise our discussion may be waste. Right. Okay, fine. Anyway, so here I want to take 2 input variables with the type integer, and these variables I declared at class level. Okay. Right. My first required operation is addition. So that is why I assigned a name add. Okay. I assign the name add to this function, and here in this function I want to perform some operations. Yes, if required, you can prepare parameterized functions, or otherwise not required. Why? Because here I declared class variables. This time I want to take some input data from the user through a function called read. First activity, I want to take input data from the user. Okay, if you want to write any program, you have to follow a particular sequence to implement the program. First, you have to identify the required inputs to solve the problem. So here I want 2 integer values to perform all my required arithmetic operations. So that is why first I want to collect input data from the user. So this is my task. So that is why I am dealing this activity through a function called read. I am defining a function with the name read, and in that function I'm interested to collect input data from the user. So first input value I want to place in the variable X, second input value I want to place in the variable Y. Okay, for better understanding and for giving proper directions to the user, I am including this statement here. Okay, this is the meaningful way with user inputs. Cout, enter second value. So I want to store that second value in the variable Y, and I want to store the first value in variable X. Okay. So suppose if I declare these two variables X and Y in the read function, that X and Y is not available to the further functions. So that is why I declared that variables here at class level. Is it clear? Emma, respond someone.
Yes, sir.
X, Y ని ఇక్కడ నేను డిక్లేర్ చేశాను అనుకోండి, ఈ వేరియబుల్స్ ఇక్కడ ఉన్న ఈ క్లాస్ లో ఉన్న అన్ని ఫంక్షన్స్ కి అవైలబుల్. అండర్స్టాండ్? లేదు ఒకవేళ ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ ని ఇక్కడ రిమూవ్ చేసి నేను ఓన్లీ రీడ్ ఫంక్షన్ లో ఇంక్లూడ్ చేశాను అనుకోండి, దట్ వేరియబుల్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ అవైలబుల్ టు ది రిమైనింగ్ ఫంక్షన్స్. అండర్స్టాండ్? సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై ఐ డిక్లేర్డ్ X and Y variables here. Okay, fine. My first activity is addition operation. Yes, here I am declaring local variable in this function. Maybe it is not required actually, but to know the way to deal with the local variables declarations and something like that, I declared a variable Z here. Otherwise it is not required. Don't think so. So cout. Here what I want to do is I want to, yes, that is what I'm telling you. Yes, you can directly print the resultant value like this, or otherwise yes, you can do this calculation like this. Suppose if you want to do like this, then only you need to declare the local variable and you need to assign that calculated resultant value to that local variable, and finally we want to assign that, yes, we want to print the resultant value which is stored in the variable Z using cout statement. You please remember that. Cin for taking input data from the user, cout for displaying the values on the screen. So that value may be from a variable or it may be a direct data, right? Okay. Yes. The task is over now. So you please remember that here shortcut is F2, function key F2 to save all the changes, or otherwise go to the file menu and click on save to save all changes in the current file. Okay, yes, addition operation is over. So like that you have to implement all the remaining operations also. Okay, yes, suppose if I want to do subtraction, so I will take another function with the name sub, and here I want to do all the required operations. So cout, and this time I don't want to create any local variable. Why? Because I already demonstrated local variable in the above function, so not required here. Here what I want to do is I want to print the resultant value of X minus Y directly. Result of subtraction we can print here in this way. Okay, so like this you are allowed to perform all your required operations in that class. Okay, this is the way. You please follow me and try to observe and understand in what way I am defining the instructions and in what way I am implementing the code. చూడండి ఇక్కడ నాకు ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఇండెంటేషన్ నేను ఫాలో అయిపోతున్నాను, మీకు కూడా అది ప్రాక్టీస్తో వస్తుంది. ఓకే, మనం ఇంకా పర్టికులర్గా అలైన్ చేసేటట్టుగా ఉండకూడదు. ఇట్ ఈస్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ రెగ్యులర్ యాక్టివిటీ ఇన్ ది కోడింగ్. Okay, so please keep these points in your mind. In the case of multiplication, yes, again I want to print that resultant value directly. So x into y for multiplication, result of multiplication is doing like this. In the same way for division,
Sir?
and defining. Yeah, tell me, Amma.
ఇవన్నీ వాయిడ్ యాడ్ వాయిడ్ సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ అవి లేకుండా రాయలేమా సార్? అంటే మనం ప్రతి దానికి పైన వాయిడ్ మళ్ళీ అన్ని ఒకే దాంట్లో రాయడం.
Yeah, I understood your problem. Please all of you listen to me. It is not possible to directly write an instruction in the class. Okay, a class is a block. Okay, it allows set of variables and set of member functions only. It won't accept direct instructions inside the class. Okay, whatever the activity you want to done, that activity should be there in function. Understand? Emma, respond.
సార్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం వాయిడ్ యాడ్ లోనే ఇవి కూడా రాయొచ్చా సార్ కొన్ని?
Yeah, yes, it is possible, but here it is not good practice. We want to define one function for exactly one activity. You should not maybe if you want, yes, you can develop multiple operations in the single function, but the mode of a function is different. Okay, that is not good practice. Okay, if you are a professional developer, as per the standards, you have to define one specific function, one specific operation in one specific function. Okay, you should not define multiple operations in the single function. It is not preferable. It is possible, but it is not preferable.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇట్లా ఈ కోడ్ ఇట్లా బ్లాక్స్ కింద ఇట్లా ఫంక్షన్స్ కింద రాసాం అనుకోండి. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ క్లియర్లీ అండర్స్టాండబుల్ టు ఎవ్రీ వన్. అండ్ ఇఫ్ ఎనీథింగ్ రాంగ్ ఫర్ ఏ particular operation, we can directly move to that particular function instead of verifying the whole instructions in the class. Right, so see out. Divided by y. Now you please remember that result of division is coefficient only, not the remainder. Yes, if you want remainder, you have to use percentage operator to get the remainder. Please all of you remember this. Okay, at any operation, if you want remainder, in the case of division, you have to use percentage operator. Suppose if you want coefficient, then you have to use direct division operator. Please remember that. So now I want coefficient, so that is why I am using this operator. Okay, every change should be saved in the file. Okay, now you please see here, this class is a group of data members x and y, and member functions like read, add, sub, mul and div. Okay, as per the class definition, a class is a group of data members and member functions. Now the definition is fulfilled here. Understand? ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ మన క్లాస్లో ఏముంది, నార్మల్గా డేటా మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఫస్ట్ ఆల్ ద డేటా మెంబర్స్ షుడ్ బి డిక్లేర్డ్ ఎట్ ద బిగినింగ్ ఆఫ్ ది క్లాస్ ఓన్లీ. దిస్ ఈజ్ మ్యాండటరీ. Understand, you should not declare the class members somewhere else. Okay, this is the good practice. Okay, all the declarations at class level should be there at the beginning. Okay, after the variable declarations, the remaining part for member functions. Okay, you please remember this. Yes, by default, in the class, all the data members and member functions are treated as private. Okay, in C++, we can restrict the access of data members and member functions with an access specifiers mechanism. Okay, in C++ we have two important access specifiers. Those are private and public. If you declare any data member as private, the data is not available outside of the class. Okay, if you declare any member function as a private member function in the class, it is not available outside the class. Not available outside the class means you can't call this function from outside the class. Okay, yes. So that is why we are using access specifiers here at class level. By default, all the data members and member functions are treated as private members of the class. More and more secure, the data and as well as functions. So suppose I don't want to allow anybody to access my data members from outside. So here what I want to do is, I want to declare data members as private. Okay, and if I want to provide access to all these member functions from outside, then I will specify these member functions as public. Okay, so whatever the functions defined below this access specifier, all these are considered as public members. Please remember that I don't want to allow anybody to access my data members from outside, but I want to allow all the people from outside to access these functions: read, add, sub, and mul, and division functions. Okay, now the class is perfectly ready to do the operations, and this is the way to implement a class in C++. Is it clear? Tell me now. Yes. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Respond someone. Respond.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear, everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now the data members are private. Yes, if you declare any data members as private in a particular class, the data members are available within the class only. Within the class, in the sense, from the open curly brace of the class to the closed curly brace of that class, that private members are available. But outside this closed curly brace, we can't access that class data members if it is declared as private member. Is it clear? Fine. So now if you compile this program, you won't get any input and you won't get any output. Okay, so if you want to access that class, it is only possible by creating an object to that class. Okay, now you tell me what is the name of this class. Why? Because if you want to declare an object for this class, yes, we have to use the class name arithmetic. Now tell me somebody how to create an object. What is the syntax of object creation in C++? Tell me. Class name
followed by
object name. Object name. Understand? So through this object only we can access the public members of arithmetic class. Please remember that. It is not possible to access private members of arithmetic class through this object. Okay, if you try to access private members, you will get error. Okay, you are allowed to access only public members. So, obj dot, this is the way to access class members through an object. Okay, object name dot member name. It may be data member or member function. Suppose I have data member anukondi, obj.x. This is the way to access data member from the arithmetic class through its object. Okay, so now we can't access x. Why? It is a private member, so we can't access. Right. Now you tell me, I want to take input data from the user first. After that, I want to perform addition operation. After that, I want to perform subtraction. After that, I want to perform multiplication. And after that, I want to perform division. Now you tell me, what is the instruction now? Obj dot
read.
first I want to collect input data from the user. So that input activity is defined in which function? Read function. So that is why I am calling function read here. This is the first operation. Why? Because here I am taking input data. So for any operation, first we want to take input data. Okay, you should not call this function after addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, that is not the correct approach. So first input activity, so that I'm calling read function using an object obj. So next I want to perform addition operation. So that is why, yes, addition operation is defined in which function? Yes, here the name of the function is add. So I want to call function add. Okay, now I will get output as addition operation. So after this, I want to perform subtraction. So I want to define this instruction next. Next multiplication. So mul. Next division. So div. This is the way to call a member function of a class using its object. Okay, please remember that. So now the program is over. Okay, you please remember that. The class itself, it should not be executed. So that is why in the main block, we have to create an object to the class, and through that object, we will call required functions in the required sequence. Is it clear? Respond. Okay, fine. So next, control F9. Yes, program is executed. Now it is asking input values. So first input value is 12 and the second input value is 23. Output is 35, but we can't get output in the same screen. So if I want to see the output here in Turbo C++, Alt F5 to see the resultant values. Please see here, addition of the given numbers is 35 and result of subtraction is -11 and result of multiplication is 276 and division is 0. Here I am getting coefficient value. Okay, so this is the way to define class and to implement functions in the class and to creating an object to the class and to invoking member functions of a class. Yes, these many number of points are covered here. Is it clear or any doubts? ఇదేమి మీరు రాయక్కర్లేదు, నేను మీకు సపరేషన్ కోసమని ఈ కామెంట్ ప్లేస్ చేశా. దిస్ ఇస్ ది కామెంట్ ఇన్ C++. For better understanding, we will use comments. నోట్బుక్లో నోట్ చేసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, అది నేను జస్ట్ మీకు సపరేషన్ చూపించడానికి కామెంట్ని యూజ్ చేశాను. ఇక్కడ కామెంట్ ఆపరేటర్ వచ్చేసి C++లో 2 ఫార్వర్డ్ స్లాషెస్. Okay, not single. 2 forward slash is considered as a single line comment. Okay, multi-line comment like C++, like C, this is multi-line comment. Okay, the multi-line comment to single line comment అయితే 2 forward slashes. ఇది సింగిల్ లైన్ కి ఇది వాడతాం, మల్టీ లైన్ కి పైన ఉన్నది యూస్ చేస్తాం. సో డోంట్ బి కన్ఫ్యూజ్డ్. Member functions. Fine. Yeah. Is it clear? Respond. And if you have any doubt, ask me now. Otherwise, please note down this program in your running notes. Do it fast. Now, first of all, respond someone. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. అందరు నోట్ చేసుకోండి ప్రోగ్రామ్ రన్నింగ్ నోట్స్ లో. మీకు క్లియర్గా అర్థమైతే చూసి కాపీ చేయొద్దు. ట్రై టు ప్రిపేర్ దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ with your knowledge. Don't copy this as usually and it is not required. మీకు అర్థమైతే మీరు ఓన్గా రాయండి, అంతేగాని చూసి రాసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. మీరు రాసి తర్వాత మీరు క్రాస్ చెక్ చేసుకోండి కావాలంటే. ఎస్, ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ I will provide this code in the Google class also. Please tell me. మీకు కావాలనుకుంటే ఈ కోడ్ మొత్తం కాపీ చేసి గూగుల్ క్లాస్లో ప్లేస్ చేస్తా.
Sir.
Okay.
Post and sir.
Okay.
Sir, scroll down, sir.
Okay. In C++, every class should end with semicolon. Please remember that.
సార్
చెప్పమ్మా.
ఇప్పుడు ఫోన్స్ లో మరి మేము ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేయడానికి యాప్స్ ఏం
నేను
చెప్తారా?
చెప్తాను. నేను ఒకటి చెక్ చేసి ఏదన్నా కొంచెం బెటర్గా ఉన్న యాప్ మీకు సజెస్ట్ చేస్తాను.
ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Scroll down.
Is it over? If it is over,
సార్
fine. Okay, any experiments are required on this program? So if you want to know something, tell me. We will do that experiments for your understanding. Yes,
We
feel
will
free to
continue in next class.
Hmm. Just wait. I want to take attendance. And the same attendance I am giving to the previous class for Python, I think.